Hi, my name is Avio. Every year I get 6,000 demo submissions from artists all around the world for record label signing consideration. Every other day I review 30 to 60 of them right here on Record Label Boss. If you want to support your favorite artist in getting a recording deal, or if you want to find out what makes or breaks a demo, or if you just want to hang out, have fun, and talk about the music industry, you are very welcome to join us right here on Record Label Boss, and I'll see you on the next show. Hello and welcome to Record Label Boss. It's Monday and it's that Mega Monday with your boy Avio on the microphone. It's the 8th of February and I hope that you had a wonderful and very awesome and totally great weekend. And today it's that day. We're at 2000 CT. It's time for your boy Avio and Record Label Boss because you know that. What? You know that. What? Record Label Boss is the world's #1 independent music review show because every year we receive about 30,000 submissions from artists all around the world, and I do review 6,000 of them every year right here on Record Label Boss. Welcome to the show, wherever you are. Welcome to the person who's just now calling me and doesn't understand that I'm like in a live show. No, Ken, that's not gonna go. Oh my God, stop calling me. I'm in the studio, go away. Hello Empire 9, hello Andrew, hello everybody on Twitch. How you doing, guys? Thank you so much for being here. Hello everybody on Reddit. I hope you're having a great time. And hello everybody on YouTube, Facebook, and wherever you might be. And that didn't work. Wow. Because we're trying to do Instagram and TikTok streaming today. And we have some technical new things right here. And these things kind of like really didn't work out. So we're going to try again. But today we're going to have 50 submissions from artists all around the world to review because it is Mega Monday and it is the day where we get the most submissions. So it's going to be a huge show. It's going to be an interesting show, and I hope you're going to enjoy it. Thank you so much for being here, and as soon as I can get Ken Tucker to stop calling me because he doesn't understand that I'm streaming live, I'll go ahead and start the show. Okay, that completely didn't work. Just crashed and burned. All right, guys. Thanks so much for being on. If you have any questions, please let me know. You're always welcome to ask. If you want to call in, we're going to provide you with a phone number. If you want to be part of the show, go to twitch.tv/recordlabelboss and you can chat and people will see your comments on the screen. If you want to review, go to Twitch. If you want to participate, that's right. If you want to know more, go to recordlabelboss.com. And let's start this, shall we? Alrighty, welcome to the show. How you doing, guys? I hope you had a great weekend. And the first submission is gonna be Ray from Panama, and I've really never got anything from Panama with his song "Your Papi." All right, Ray, let's hear it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Woke up in the streets, starters. Niggas wouldn't make it from the outside. I've been cooking up, I swear you can smell it outside. They can see the real from my mouth, yeah, my eyes, yeah. Congress just
So if you want me to shout out your name, just say something, say hi, Avio, or something. Because it's getting a little bit difficult to check out all the different room lists, because I have a whole bunch of room lists now. And what, in case you realized what's going on here today for the first time, I don't know, maybe you can see it. We've upgraded to 60 hertz casting. Thank you very much, Shadow Devil. And Andrew says he doesn't like this one. I think it's not so bad. Not sure what he did with his vocals there. Sounds a little bit... Yeah, he's tuning it. He's auto-tuning it. Anyway, what I wanted to say is that we upgraded to 60 frames. 60 hertz, you know. In case you know what that means, great. In case you don't worry. Papi, right? Okay, so that was our first try of streaming to Instagram and TikTok, and it completely failed. Well, I'm gonna second round him. And you know, you try, you work, you try, and then you try again. That's how it works, essentially. Because our general idea was to let everybody participate in the show. But a lot of services are making it really difficult to stream to them because they have their own little ideas what things should be like. And that's totally fine for them. And this is Afroduck Sounds from the United States of America with I Don't Want Anybody Else. And my pen is back. My pen is back. And so far, the 60 hertz stream seems to be holding really well. Bitrate is about 6,000 kilobit. Working pretty well, I'd say. Anybody else? And if you know that, then you have been playing computer games in the 90s. It's submitted under pop rock. I'm not sure that this is actually pop rock or anything near pop rock, actually. But I'm willing to give it a little bit of more time. And they want to have this in sync licensing. And that will probably be the first time on this show that I actually consider taking something for sync like that. Could be working, could be not. Yeah, it doesn't sound like pop rock at all. It's not what it is. Okay, it's okay for sync. I'll pass it on. Next one, The Woods. Netherlands, All Again Blues. Alrighty, let's hear it. Welcome, the record label boss, with your boy, Avio. How you doing today? As you can tell, I'm a great singer. Okay, this is a really slow song. Oh, come on.
Big brown eyes. Your curves made me want to stay.
I'm not entirely sure if it's not too
We talked through the night.
empty and too boring and too slow.
Made you my angel many times a day.
I raised the price on sing mode? What? I don't even know how that works.
Then we said I do.
Oh, something's shaking. The camera's shaking. Stop shaking, camera.
Stuck with each other every single day.
I gotta give you guys some goals to look forward
There's
to.
many things we went through. I would not have wanted any other way.
Okay, it's not bad, but decent effort. Really cool song that is nice and heartfelt, but remains a bit empty and could use some more melodic elements. All the best and cheers. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad, but it was a little bit too empty. It was mostly his vocals, the piano part, some guitars. All of that was good, but it did make the song a little bit empty. I feel if he had worked on that a little bit. And Ken is now texting me. All right. Cryptic Cadet Echoes. Yeah, I think his Shadow Devil says his voice goes well at a slow tone. Yeah, definitely. I thought it was a pretty decent song, and I think that if the guy just worked a little bit on the production, it could be a very decent song. But I feel like he ended it a little bit too early in terms of working on it. All right, Cryptic Cadet submitted under Electro Pop. Let's hear it. Okay. Okay, a little bit of a switch up, always good. Yep. Started talking there for a second. Okay. So far, so good. Ah.
Heard you twice the first time. You'll be right back in my
Messed it up.
information.
Okay, second round for this one. Don't think it's so bad. I heard some vocal insecurities here and there for her, but it's to be expected. And the next one is Droning Keyboard Group from the United States. Wait for You Techno Pop Rock. How would you submit? It's either techno or pop rock, That is really far apart. All right, let's... Okay, sounds a little bit 80s-y, 90s-y, not in a good way. Yep, viewers are dropping. That's the cue. Decent effort. Okay, track that has some great elements, but retains strong electronic hardcore vibes. All the best and cheers. Hardcore electronic isn't something that people are generally into, and this was more of the unmelodic hardcore electronic type. There is a very, very small listenership for that kind of music. Fancy Normal from Australia says Sad Champagne. Woo! So, how was your weekend, guys? Are you all safe? You all safe? Happy? Nobody sick? Everybody happy? Ready to watch Record Label Boss Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Good. Who watched Super Bowl yesterday? I didn't. Empire 9 is always ready. That's good. So I kind of like totally missed the Super Bowl. Yesterday I was like, yeah, I'm going to stay up because I'm in Europe, you know. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning for us. And I think by 11 I was sleeping. It's just simply not that important to me. I'm not a big sports guy, and the appearances and the live stuff is like, yeah. Yeah, Shadow Devil says the same thing. Didn't watch it, not a huge sports fan. Same here. And Andrew says he's doing great. Bought some more records and CDs. Ooh! All my records and CDs are in the basement. And Mike is on here. How you doing, Mike? I watch it for commercials and halftime show. Yeah, I think a lot of people do that. Hey, Mike, I watched Miss Dina today on TikTok. She was doing really great. And I was like gifting her presents all the time and stuff. I didn't know that on TikTok you can give people like presents for like money. So I went in the store and for €1 I bought 65 presents, and then I started giving Miss Dina one present at a time. That is wonderful. So you can give people 1/65th of a euro at one time. That is such an incredibly great choice to help your content creators when you get like 0.001 cent. Oh, Andrew says he heard Reddit bought Commercial Time. Really? Okay, I don't like it that much. It's not bad. I didn't watch the commercials. Anybody watch it can like enlighten us who ran commercials? Decent effort. Okay, track with some cool E-pop feeling that remains a bit crammed and could improve in melodics. All the best and cheers. Boom! And this is Oral and Nijim from Switzerland, The Waiting. And they say it's techno, melodic techno, house trance. Alright. So far it's very basic FL Studio mucking about. Come on. 51 seconds and you're introducing the third instrument. I'm going to jump out of the window. And she told you about it, yeah. I'm like totally huge fan. So it's giving her lots of presents. Okay, these guys are... Okay, yeah, that isn't working at all. That is a very, very long intro that then graduates into a super average song. Decent effort. Intro is too long and fairly simple. And graduates into a basic track. All the best and cheers, you know. Going, next one. East Hayes, Austria. We have somebody from Austria. East Hayes, okay, commercial. Because I'm from Austria. I'm sitting in Graz in Austria right here. Austrian music right here on Record Label Boss. Grab your tickets. Okay, come on. So far, I've never received the Austrian submission that I actually passed. So I don't have a single artist from my own country on my labels. That is so sad. That is so unbelievably sad. Hey Scotty, what's up? I do not understand. What do you want me to say? It's okay. It's okay. You're building towers without having a plan. Turning around and start over again. What do you want me to say? It's okay. Just working away. Okay, good. Tomorrow we have our little meeting, don't forget. It's actually been pretty good so far. It's been average, but not horrible. This is a dude from Austria. It's a bit random. I'm gonna second round it just for the fact he's Austrian, but it's a little bit too random. It sounds like people have made this that don't have a lot of experience, so it's mostly melodic elements just put together in a fairly random way. Boop, 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 boom, 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 diddle, 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 you know. All right, this one is Alexander Yearns, USA, Letter to You, singer-songwriter.
Baby, it's true. This is a letter to you. This is a letter to you. And I've been trying to get high. And I've been trying to lose my mind. Oh, but if I lose myself, I will surely lose you. Baby, it's true.
No, too basic, too simple melodically. Decent effort. Okay, track that is well made, but remains very simple. Melodically, all the best and cheers. So what he's essentially doing the entire song is dum 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 dum, and he's like repeating that like over and over and over again. And you know, if you have a sequence that is that short and you repeat it over the whole song, that just makes for an extremely boring song.
Will you help contain the fire? 'Cause you know
So what you need to do is you need to introduce alternate versions of the main theme. So you can't do dum 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 dum. You need to do dum 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 dum. And that is like 3-4 variations of the main theme that you can very, very easily do, but do not take a 2-second sample and run it for 4 minutes. Nobody's going to listen to that song. Oh. What is that? New subscriber, Arbitrator06, resubscribed for 5 months. Woo-hoo-hoo. Thanks, Arby, for the support. That is really, really greatly appreciated. Totally awesome. If you're in the channel, I love you. If you're not in the channel, you're watching this later, I still love you. See, that's the kind of support I love. You're all welcome to, you know. Oh, you're in the house. Excellent. Well, then you have to kind of like help us rate stuff. Because Arby's really good. He's really good. All right, Konrad von Pfeifel, Germany, the rave right. EDM. Oh, you just got here. Super. By the way, if you want to support me in the show, you can subscribe on the Twitch channel. You can go to recordlabelboss.com and support us on Patreon. Or you can donate. The buttons are below the stream on Twitch. But if you go to recordlabelboss.com, everything will be revealed to you as well. So I appreciate everybody that supports us as an independent record label and me as an independent broadcaster. So thank you so much, Arby. Okay, I don't like this song. Does anybody like this song? It's a bit too random. Is it gonna go anywhere? No. Decent effort. Okay, track that remains a bit too random and lacks a direction and main melodic element. All the best and cheers. You know, and sometimes I have like really interesting conversations that day that I want to tell you about, but I can't because it's kind of like secret business stuff. But I had a really interesting conversation today with some people that if what we're planning goes through, I'll be happy to talk about it and it'll be very cool. Okay, Simulated Youth USA, go for a drive. Because I want to be like a life blogger. But like half of the stuff I do every day, I can't tell anybody until it's signed and done, you know. I mean, I could, but I don't want to put people out there, you know. And praise to B2 Wallace, it sounds like a bunch of loops pasted together. Yeah, a lot of it does. Okay, this is this is pretty bad. Decent effort. Okay, track that remains a bit random and lacks leading melodic elements and direction. All the best and cheers. What can I say, you know?
I'm caught on you.
Oh, somebody's singing.
Man on the moon.
Man on the Moon.
You beautify.
This is Kuil from UK, Man on the Moon.
I'm alive.
Electropop EDM. Let's listen.
Speak up if you're there, so I know it's real. I think time's got a hold of me,
A hot of me.
and
What's a hot?
everything wash away these words and drown my fears. Cover up my face to disappear. I'm cold on you, like man on the moon. You beautify.
All right, let's check the drop. Drop check. 4, 3, 2, 1. That wasn't a drop at all. The song just started.
Every time.
The melodics are not great, but the vocals are not so bad.
With all you are. Look down, there's a piece of me. I've gone too far. Wipe these tears away and right my wrongs. Guide me to the place where I belong.
Yeah, the synth piano. No, that the synth piano actually starts from the house days, and it started in the 80s, and it was like a sample actually that I have on some of my synths, and as a sample as well, the house piano. That people used because back then it was difficult to get various samples, and so it became like a staple of house music, that very sample. And now people are trying to emulate that feeling by using that piano.
I'm cold on you, like man on the moon. You beautify. I know I'm alive every time.
Yeah, it's not good enough. The music does it in. I'm gonna straight up decline this because the music does it in. There's not more than a 5 in music. There is a good voice, and I'm gonna write him that. Decent effort. Okay, vocals we liked, but the music track is very basic and average. Would like to hear more. All the best and cheers. And I have to tell you, secret guys, I'm just about done recruiting singers, because we have so many problems. No, let's say differently. We have a lot of challenges signing people that can sing really well, but they cannot make music for the life of them. And then we have to set them up with a producer, with a band, with a manager, with people. And we have to recruit an entire team to kind of like baby that singer around so that they can, fulfill their vision of where they want to go artistically, because, they can't write notes. They can't write songs. All they can do is sing. And I am seriously considering not signing singers anymore and just only bringing them on as session singers, because in post-corona times and in the music industry today, you need to be able to make music. If you can't make music at home, you can't use a computer, you can't use Logic, you cannot songwrite, you cannot arrange, you cannot produce. There's nothing you can do other than singing. It's not enough anymore. Nobody's going to give you a 10-person team as a completely unknown artist to finish your songs. It ain't going to happen anymore. And Ruyon Striker says, hello and thanks for streaming. I find it very interesting to listen to you analyze the music. Thank you very much, Ruyon. That's very nice of you. And I'm checking here to see if our stream is good. Yeah, looks good. Had a hiccup here on Reddit. All right, next one. Voxinus. From the UK, grow up. Arbitrator says, true, you can find singers, but real musicians is what you need. Yeah. If I find a musician that can also sing, that's great, But these people that are just like, a lot of people come to me and say, I'm a singer and songwriter. But they're really not. They're just singers. And songwriting to them is like taking a phone and doing this, and this is what I get. Hello, my love is so big, my love is so big. My love is big, big love. All right, I wrote a new song, I sent it to you. That's not songwriting. That's just because you don't even know what songwriting is. You're just freaking croaking into your phone and then sending it to somebody, and then you say you want to have 100% of the rights for it. You know, is no producer in the world's gonna go with that and help you fulfill your vision, you know? Yeah, you have to completely map out the entire song. Hey, Beer Belly Bird, how you doing? Meanwhile, our Lord and Savior Ken Tucker is master of both skills. Yes, the only thing Ken Tucker hasn't mastered is the world of technology, because he keeps calling me when I'm live, and he's like calling me and calling me and calling me again and sending me messages. Are you available? Hey, buddy, I want to chat with you. I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm on always at the same time, you know? All right, Voxinus.
Cause I didn't want more fighting. Grow up, forget about the glow up. I drove 2 fucking hours just to wait for you to
All right, here we got a nice male chorus with very basic music. Weird. A bit weird. Weirdish. Weirdy. Oh, so is something gonna happen? Nope. There's almost no music under this. It's almost like a cappella. I mean, because this, like cheesy organ line 01. Huh. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's their style. Don't know. I think, you know, you have these pretty good melodics, decent effort, pretty good vocal harmonies that we liked. Liked with some very uninvolved music that remains very basic. I don't understand it, like, at all. If you can sing and you can do that, why the bing, bang, bang, bing, bing, bang, bang, bing? You know, I don't get it. Like, all the best and cheers. And it's not even good, you know? I mean, there's a lot of songs that are popular that don't have a lot of melodic elements or even a lot of instruments. But then the melody is good, you know? It's not, you know? I don't understand it, but I don't have to. Next one, ban. Grease, Jesus is dead. Rap. Oh, hey, why is the stream title back to the old one? I don't know. Not entirely sure. Oh, yeah. I did some mucking about because I wanted to stream today to Instagram and TikTok, and it completely failed, and I think I was mucking about with it there, and that's how it happened. So we're still looking for a service to where you can consistently and without technical problems stream to TikTok and Instagram. So All right, I'm like. Wrong button. Decent effort. Okay. Track that remains a bit confusing and chaotic with little clear vocals and or melodics. All the best and cheers. The best way that I can describe this from my brothers in Greece, by the way, peace out to Greece, because I am Greek and Austrian, is to be a confusing pile of sausage mixed with, everything. It's just a collection of sonic elements that don't go together like at all. It's just like you took some random stuff, threw it in a bag, shook it a little bit, and so came out, No. Rona Castigliotti, United Kingdom. Oh, it's gonna be another solo piano. Oh my god. Why me? Why me? For the guys that don't watch the show all the time, I get so much solo piano stuff and I never approve any of it because solo piano is like almost impossible to sell. You have to be really, really good to sell solo piano. And this kind of like random climpy clampy that they think is really smart. Nope. Decent effort. Solo piano music is really difficult to place and use and should best be upgraded to a real song. All the best and cheers. Because these people are always like, yeah, take our stuff for a TV show. When is the last time you've seen a TV show that had one of its main tracks or its defining moments underscored only by a random piece of solo piano? I don't know. I can't even remember. If you look at all of the epic stuff, look at Vikings, look at Game of Thrones, look at anything that has any kind of, classical instruments in the back. Those are full songs. They're not solo piano. No. All right, Devland again. United Kingdom, Queen of Hearts. And Beer says, yeah, who would listen to this? Non-classic fans would find it boring. Classic fans would listen to better stuff made 300 years ago. Absolutely. Listen to the classical composers, how great they were. There's like 200 composers that are better. Yeah. And Luis Bola is saying, is this a TV show? It's a DSP show. Digital streaming provider show. It's currently not on satellite or cable, but we hope that one day we're going to be on satellite and cable too. Okay, we got some overdriven sub here. But we are the world's #1 independent music review show. That's right. I just hit that break there.
I keep on losing, what the fuck should I do? She think I'm lying cause she never seemed to tell me the truth. I broke some rules
okay, no.
you, but you keep playing games, so fuck it, I'm ducking out. You can go and
random, confusing, overdriven, decent effort. Sub is a bit too driven. Vocals are a bit out of flow. Melodics are basic and a bit off. All the best and cheers. I understand what they're trying to do here, but it's not working. This is Urban Francis Canada Silent and Grey. And Luis Bolta is asking, so are people sending you tracks to review? Yes, Luis. Every day, no. Every year about 30,000 people try to get reviewed by us. And every year I review about 6,000 of them. And so that comes down to me, every time I do a show, reviewing anywhere from 30 to 60 every other day. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I do this show for about 2 to 3 hours, and I review 20 to 60 submissions. And then between these days I review submissions, but I don't do it live, you know. I mean, I thought of like doing this show 5 times, but I'm not sure if I can do it, you know. Because it is a huge commitment having a show like this, you know. Because do you know what, guys? Ever since I started the show in August, I haven't missed a single time. There is no time that I missed this show. I've always been doing it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if I didn't do a show, I said it before, and that was Christmas Day and New Year's Day. And other than that, I did the show when I was sick, when I didn't want to, every single time I did the show. And your future attorney is saying, what are your thoughts on royalties being paid out in Bitcoin? That goes together with my opinion of cryptocurrency, since like I'm an economist by trade. I'm an economist and sociologist, and what I think about cryptocurrency is not very much. It's essentially not a real currency, and it holds only emotional value. So any money that you invest in Bitcoin or any other coin can be completely eroded at any second, because there is no recoupable value in cryptocurrency. So a typical currency would have to would have a real value underpinning, which means that the currency would either be covered in gold or in bonds or in anything like that, which means you could give back the currency and get the value, in theory. And cryptocurrency is not value covered, which means there's no way to recoup the value of cryptocurrency. So the only value that it has is purely emotional, which means that it's entirely driven by stock market mechanics that are hugely emotionally driven. So if you look at what happened on Clubhouse the other day with Elon Musk saying Dogecoin, and now he's buying Bitcoin, and then everybody's doing that, it's essentially a huge Ponzi scheme. So would I get paid in Bitcoin? No, absolutely not. Would I invest in Bitcoin? Absolutely not. Would I day trade with Bitcoin? Sure. Day trading is an emotional thing. You can do that. People believe in it. It goes up. People stop believing it. It goes down. But I am not taking cryptocurrency serious. That was the long answer. Sorry. If you're into economists, you should listen to Michael Saylor and Ross Stephen interview from last week. So Tesla just amounts to be assessed. Yeah, sure. Why not? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Everything that Elon Musk buys raises in value. Elon Musk goes on Clubhouse, says he's going to... Dogecoin is great. Everybody buys Dogecoin. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. When there is sufficiently many people that believe you, anything you say comes true. You know, if there's like 2 million people that follow you and will do everything you say, okay, Count Zero Records is a company that you should really invest in. They're going to blow up. Thousands of people are going to invest in Count Zero Records, and the value is going to go up. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And yeah, if you have that much influence on the market, as Elon Musk has as a singular person, you can use it. So just him announcing he's buying that much Bitcoin is going to stabilize Bitcoin probably for the next year or so. And then you have all these like wannabe investors. So funny, you know, all of the fist pumping Chad bros that had like 2.5 years of school where they learned basic subtraction and addition, they're now all investors, you know? Sorry. And Empire 9 is asking, isn't the US dollar essentially the same, though? It's not backed by gold. It's backed by value. See, when people attack currencies, they're always saying it's not backed by gold. That is true, because backing by gold has been abandoned in the 70s because it's not practical. But what every currency in the world is, every actual currency, it's backed by value. And this value is usually bonds. It's usually state or country bonds. Like in Austria, it would be Austrian state bonds. And that is actually value. So it doesn't need to be only gold. It can be any kind of value that country holds, which means they physically have the value in their possession, no matter if it's gold, diamonds, bonds, or whatever it is. And there's the huge difference. Every normal currency is value backed, and cryptocurrency is not value backed. It's entirely emotional. Your future attorney says it's 600 billion market cap. It's been around a lot longer than Elon started mentioning it. Value, you're nuts. I just printed 6.5T this year. The Fed admitted USD is infinite. USD has been losing value for lost value. Yeah, because the US is ran badly. The US dollar is losing value because the United States have been on a downward spiral since the 50s. They haven't added anything to actual standard of living since the 1950s, and they've not been performing well consistently over a very long period of time. So their national economy is actually not doing good. So the US dollar is losing value against currencies like the euro and the Chinese renminbi, because these economies are performing better. But this doesn't have anything to do with something being value-backed. And Luz Bota says, hopping off the gold standard was the worst move the U.S. government made in the 20th century. A lot of people think that, it is something to consider. But I think it had to happen because gold-backed is just extremely cumbersome. And Luz Bolta says, watch what happens when we vote the national minimum wage doubled. Bitcoin is backed by math and computer power. Good luck disputing that. No, that isn't value. What is necessary for a currency to be backed by value is the reconvertibility of the currency into that value. So in theory, you can take your $10 bill and go to the national bank, and there will be $10 of gold, and you could reconvert it. You cannot reconvert crypto coins. You cannot take a crypto coin and reconvert it into the value that it had, because the only value that crypto coin has is the value that was used to create the coin itself, i.e. the printing cost of money. Because money has two costs associated with it. The printing cost of money, which is the cost that it takes to print and create the money, to make it green and everything. That is the printing cost of money. And that is what for crypto coin is electricity and all this stuff. And then there's the value that currency has. And that is the value that usually is in the national bank that says this paper bill is worth $10 because I have $10 as a value aggregate somewhere. And this value aggregate is nowhere with cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency is actually only worth its printing cost, and even that is non-recuperable. So it's actually mostly emotional. And it's kind of like a Ponzi scheme. As long as you believe in it, everything is fine. It's just when people stop believing in it, there's no bottom to the value because it doesn't have any value. It will go down to zero because the value of cryptocurrency is zero. And what it has is an emotional over-evaluation, and that is what people then say is the value. All right, let's see. The gold standard provided stability. I agree with that, Louis Bolta. Yeah, and printing US dollars is also not a good idea. You cannot do that. That is one of the reasons why the dollar, and excuse my economic excursus here, why the dollar is so under pressure. But what is the reason why the US is printing so much dollars? Because the biggest creditor of the United States is China. The US have an enormous amount of debt to China, and the more money they print, the lower that debt gets. So they're damaging China more than they're damaging their own economy because they're devaluating the foreign debt, the massive amount of foreign debt that they have, and also to the Arab countries. So by printing more money, the US is actually devaluating its enormous national debt. And that's what you do in a debt economy, in an economy that's driven by your debt. And all you're thinking about is, how can I make my national debt lower? And of course, that's printing money. Because you're loaning, you're getting a loan, it's $10, then you print, and there's more money in circulation. Price of money goes down, so you devaluate those loans as well by just simply printing them and paying the Chinese or the Arabs with the newly printed money that essentially isn't worth anything. And so, yeah, the printing press is because the US is a debt-driven economy, always has been. And therein lies the problem, not in the printing. The problem lies in being debt-driven. So, don't be debt-driven. Don't loan money that you don't have. Not from the Chinese or the Arabs. Seriously, don't. And Beerbelly says he remember learning something about it in history. During the Weimar Republic, they printed a shitload of money to deal with the Treaty of Versailles. That and hyperinflation happened. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It happened in Europe. It's happening in America. It's happened to almost every country in the world that had debt and then decided to... Okay, well, I'm not hearing anything. And then decided to go ahead and print money. And there's always the problem with... Okay, there you go. With that again. So you have to be like financially frugal and say, I'm not going to take on more debt than I can service easily. Because otherwise you're going in a spiral where you have to print money, you devaluate your own money, and then if you don't have the fundamentals to back your economic growth, you're going to have to take up more money, you're going to have to print more money, and you're going into this downward spiral that really is horrible. And it happened to many countries. And then you go into hyperinflation, and then your currency kind of like busts, But all of these fundamentals are the same for cryptocurrency. Just that cryptocurrency just doesn't have any value to begin with. So you start with zero value, and the course of cryptocurrency is the overvaluation, because the currency itself has no value. It's kind of like dealing with like mussel shells, or saying glass beads are a currency now. If we all agreed glass beads are a currency, then it would be one. But it wouldn't be worth anything. It would only be worth something as long as we all believed that glass beads are worth something. And then when you stop believing that glass beads are worth something, they're worthless. And at the end of the day, it's always the private investors that end up with the shit end of the stick. It's never the Teslas and the Elon Musks and the big guys, because they usually sell early enough. Yeah, or worse, devaluation, yeah. There's a lot of things that can happen. Wow, that's an economy course. But I'm very passionate about these things. They just happen to not have anything to do with music, But those are because people are always asking me, should I trade crypto? And I said, you should. If you are a trader, if the SEC thinks you're a trader, which means you're an individual that has training in finance, you have $250,000 on your account that you can blow, and you know how to trade values and all of that, then you are a trader. Below that, you're a consumer, and you're just essentially a joke. You're not even a trader. So, if you are a trader and you want to day trade emotional values, that's fine. A lot of people do that as their job. But below these qualifications of what being a trader means, you're just cannon fodder. You're just the guy who's in there, and it's the same thing as if you would go to the casino and gamble your money on something, you know? That's kind of like saying, you know, I'm going to the casino to invest some money in red. You know, you wouldn't say that. You'd say I'm gambling. And that's what it is. And then, of course, I wouldn't trade Bitcoin. I would trade some more liquid markets like Euro US dollar, which is the most liquid value on any stock exchange, because that is a lot more safe against insider trading. These small currencies are completely open to insider trading, to pump and dump schemes. And at any time of any day, something can happen that would devaluate Dogecoin or any other coin. You know, if Elon Musk goes on Twitter tomorrow and says, whoops, I was wrong, Dogecoin is shit, you will lose all of your money. If you have Dogecoin now and Elon goes on Twitter tomorrow saying Dogecoin is shit, you will lose everything you have invested. And that should give you pause that you're investing in something to where there's one individual in the world that just need to do one tweet and all your money is gone. What does that tell you about the value that this currency actually has? Okay. I'm gonna go back to music now. Decent effort. Okay, track that remains simple and vocals are improvable. All the best and cheers. So when people ask me what do you invest in, I invest in companies that I run, manage, or I know who runs and or manages them, and I can tell that they work, you know? Like one of my friends would run them, and I know the guy's good. I'll invest. You know why? Because I know it'll be a great country. And Lisa said I want to be paid in German currency. That's euros, Lisa. And then turn it into dollars. Yeah. The euro has been increasing in value over the last 20 years greatly and has like overtaken the dollar. The euro started at about 70% of the value of the dollar and is now at a course that usually stays around 130. So from being worth 30% less than the dollar, it has moved to now being 30% more than the dollar. So that's a comparative 60% over 20 years. And that tells you a lot about how the economy is developing in Europe versus the economy is developing in America. Because currency pairs kind of like represent the entirety of economic development. Would work on it some more. All right, so if you want, you can ask me economy questions. It's totally fine. I am a professor of economy. No, I'm not. But I did teach at the university for various topics, mostly startup. I'm an economist by trade. You know. So that's another thing I'm really passionate about. I don't have an Avio hat on there. Decent effort. Okay, track with pretty cool vocals, but the music remains a bit random and improvable. All the best and cheers. And then many times I talk so fast people can understand what I'm saying. Yeah, the record label is just a side business. That currently it is, you know. It's in its infancy. It's in its startup stage. We left the founding stage, and we're now in the growth stage where we're actually growing really, really well. And we should, you know, 2 years from now, I hope that we are going to enter into profitability. And then, you know, you can think about, you know, further expansion or IPO or whatever. But yeah, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And it's true.
Just got a whole lot of checks and ops with a whole lot of debts. Put my foot down on a whole lot of nets, and that shit equaled up to a whole lot of depths. I'm in the gym doing a
I've just been so struck by the fact that on Clubhouse, all these musicians, these multi-Grammy winning people, like 8 platinum records, I'm not going to name any names, but I'm like connected with them. And they're all talking about investing here, investing there. And these people have no idea, none whatsoever about anything that goes on the financial markets. They're just like musicians that were successful, and now they're just randomly putting their money in stuff and pretending they know things about things that they don't really know anything about. And that's another thing. You should never invest in something that you don't fully understand. Okay.
I heat up the stew like some sake. I heat up the stew like some Takis. I beat up the beat like I'm Rocky. You stick in this bitch like it's hockey. I'm deep in the shit, call me Poppy. But I could take daddy instead. How me your cabinet? We needed some bread. I probably won't settle for less. I've been aiming for head, so why in the fuck would your ass go and put on the vest? I ain't for the neck, we gon' aim for the neck. We off from Brooklyn and we got a tech. Boy, it's a mess.
It's too uniform.
I do numbers, know I'm keen to math. I pulled the fat Joe and made him lean back.
Decent effort. Yeah, by the way, if you're interested in investing our label, you can talk to me. Or working with us. Decent effort. Okay, flow with some basic music that remains a bit too uniform to keep interest. All the best and cheers. Okay, next one. Winback, Can't Let You Go. How did you start your label? I worked 25 years in an energy company, and I was a board manager at the end. And then one day I said, okay, that's it. I'm going to start my own company. From now on, I'm going to do what I love. And that's what I did. I left my boardroom job and I started this wonderful endeavor that is Count Zero Records Group. And I did so with 25 years of business experience, 3 degrees, and being settled enough to actually be able to do it. If you start a label today with no education, no experience, and no money, you are going to fail. It's like the worst business ever. Don't start a record label. Yeah, absolutely, Arbitrator. That's exactly what I did. I went from wearing a suit every day to wearing an Avio hat every day. That's literally what happened. Exactly what happened. You know? And people from back then see me now and they're like, wow, you're on TV doing a radio show about music, you know? And they're like, they can't understand it. But they themselves are unhappy every day. Because who wants to be in a board of an energy company? Nobody. They just like the power and the money and that stuff, you know? But there's very few people that are passionate about it. And the people that are passionate about it, and there are some, are usually driven out because nobody wants changes, you know? People just want everything to stay the same and get as much money as they can. And since I had like an extensive amount of business experience, starting my label wasn't difficult for me. But for somebody that doesn't have a lot of experience in legal matters, it will be difficult, I'd imagine. Because you'll have to set up all your contracts and all of that. That is actually not so easy. Lisa Wood says, I'm doing my own producing. This is not easy. That's right. Doing podcasts and promote my music and comedy under Lisa Devilicious. You're so right. Getting tons of play but no money. Yeah. That is exactly the problem, Lisa. A lot of content creators... That was actually not such a bad song. A lot of content creators have this problem, you know, that they have a lot of followers and people watching their stuff, but nobody buys. Nobody gives any kind of money to these content creators, and the big tech companies like Spotify, etc., also don't pay. So all of a sudden, so many content creators are faced with the thing that they're not making any money. They would be happy making minimum wage, just having enough to have like an apartment to live in and food to eat. And they cannot get that. And then you have like 15 artists on Spotify making 85% of the income. So you'll have 15 people that are so incredibly rich that it's almost incomprehensible, and everybody else gets literally paid nothing. And that is just so horrible. And Luis Blota says, how difficult is the path for someone starting their career and entering the music industry with hopes of becoming a producer one day? That's literally what I did when I was 12. I started producing music when I was a young boy, and I have a label, and now I am towards the end of the 40s. So, how difficult was that? I'd say it was a pretty long while. And Mark B90 says this sounds like Royal Blood. So you have to be a good producer first. You can always enter the music industry, you know, and there's always a place for good producers, but the fact is just most people are not good producers. Yeah, I know the current payout Spotify pays artists very exactly because I look at these numbers all the time. No, it's a lot less. They're paying around $4,000 for 1 million plays, and that's before taxes and before splits. So if you're on an independent label, you'll get $4,000 for the 1 million plays. You'll pay 20% taxes off of that, depending on where you are. So you'll be left with $3,000. That will be split down the middle between you and the label if you have a 50-50 deal, if you're like incredibly fortunate. So you as a person will get $1,500, and you then have to tax that as a private income. You'll pay around 30% depending where you are. So you as the artist will be left maybe with $1,000 for 1 million plays. Yep. 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 We don't consider Spotify to be a like a monetary partner, like a business partner anymore. For us, it's just like SoundCloud. They don't pay us, and we don't care. We don't advertise on there. We don't wait for anything to come from them. And they are now wanting to cut that in half. They've already alerted labels that they're going to cut their payouts in half, and then it's going to become a complete joke, because then the artist is going to get $500 for having 1 million plays, and the label's going to get $500. So it will be like totally irrelevant. It will just be an engagement platform, just like posting something on YouTube or SoundCloud or something for people to listen to your music, and you're not really getting paid like at all. Yeah, and it's not even a launching board, because they have been working very diligently on mechanisms to where only the music of their owners is presented well, because Spotify is now owned by the major labels, and literally never let any of one of our artists get any kind of exposure, and they're actively moving against independent playlisters and other things like that. So it's going to become a platform that doesn't pay money for music, and where only major label artists are promoted. Luz Bloda is asking, so how are producers making money now when services like Spotify? That's very easy. You make money from performances as an artist, and you make money from merchandise as an artist, and you make money from donations and subscriptions as an artist. So all the direct money that goes to you. And producers either have a percentage of the song, so they get a percentage of that income, or they get a fixed payment. For us, it's a percentage, so we let producers participate in the total income of the song, which is really cool. So if the song makes a lot of money, producer also. And other producers just want to have straight up money. They're like, pay me $5,000 or I'm not making your song, you know. But this idea that somebody could live off song royalties is gone. No more. Like I said the other day, I met a songwriter that made 2 hits for a very, very well-known trance artist. And so she wrote 2 songs that would be #1 Billboard hits. And the artist and the record company and a lot of people made a lot of money, and she got $1,600 per song. So, you know, there's a lot of people that don't get paid in music, and there's a lot of people that do, and it's a pyramid. There's very, 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 very few people that get paid enormous amounts of money, and then everybody else gets nothing. And we're trying to change that, you know. I'm kind of like breaking the mold on the music industry there. And when I was saying these things in a clubhouse, like, so many industry people connected to me, because so many people are so unhappy that they're constantly getting taken advantage of. Nobody wants to be taken advantage of. Decent effort. Okay, track with some basic vocals and music that could both be improved, but are okay. All the best and cheers. So essentially, you need to sell stuff yourself. You need to make your own concerts. You need to make your own merchandise. You need to make your own content delivery. And this year, Count Zero Records made more money on our website, selling our merchandise and our songs straight to fans. We made more money doing that than Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and every other outlet combined. And that is how significant that is. Spotify paid our top artist. I don't even want to know. I have the bills behind me. I don't even want to say, but nothing. 3 hats and a T-shirt will net you more money as an artist than a year of Spotify. Okay? 3 hats and a T-shirt. That usually does it. So if you can sell 3 hats and a T-shirt, you don't need Spotify. So can you sell 3 hats and a T-shirt? Yeah, sure. Most people can. So if you have any more questions about cryptocurrency, economy, music, you're welcome to ask.
Shame on me, say la vie. Keep you closer than my enemies, bury me heart on sleeve. Shame on me, say la vie. Keep you closer than my
No, don't like the vocals. Decent. The music is actually good. It's a little bit old. Decent effort. Okay. Track with okay. If a bit dated music and vocals that remain improvable. Well produced though. All the best and cheers. Alright, too much like Smith mouth vocal. Yeah. What are your degrees in and what do you teach? I have a degree in electronic engineering and signal processing, which is how I got in contact with music. Because one of my first projects was actually to build a sampler. And I used my computer for creating, you know, music at that time when I was in school. And I found out that signal processing can be applied to making music, and it's been great since. So that's my electronics degree. Then I have a bachelor's degree in business administration. I have a master's degree in management and international business, and I'm currently finishing my PhD in sociology. And I did teaching. I did what it was called startup and entrepreneurship, and I was in a jury that was grading and giving feedback on business plans on groups of students that were tasked with creating a startup company, and then would have to pitch the startup company to us, and we would give them feedback on what we thought about their business plan and the way that they set up their startup. And it was a jury of people who had like 10 to 20 years of business experience, and then we would give them feedback on, you know, what we thought about their business plan. Yeah. And, you know, everybody always thought it was funny, but a lot of people were very uncomfortable with the things I was saying. And Lisa says, I make more money doing comedy and live music gigs than selling music. Absolutely, Lisa. Everybody does. Maybe I should try combing RedTube and music. Combining RedTube and music. Might make some money. Yeah, you can always go to OnlyFans, right? Yeah. Okay, these are some guys from Norway, melodic metal. Okay, let's have a listen.
Just be strong. Know that I'm always right here by your side whenever you need me to be. So hold on, be strong, carry on. Trying to forget who you are, giving up on all that you see. So long ago, would you remember?
It's not so bad, is it?
Getting on the right side of this. What if we made it through tomorrow? Trying to be alone.
Yeah.
From the walls that we thought this is going to be, like burning or walk through the night, and we never find moments like this when we are apart.
Yep. Second round for these guys. Yeah, it's not my jam either, but I thought for what it is, it wasn't so bad. And this is Mr. Mara featuring Fat Star from Italy, Samba y Banda.
Cuando se toca la canción, me parte el corazón. It's gonna rock the dance floor. Cuando se toca la canción, me parte el corazón. It's gonna want to dance more. Cuando se toca
Okay, come on.
Me parte el corazón. Just gonna rock the dance floor. Cuando se toca
Okay, repeat. 1, 2. Da da.
dance floor. Vamos.
Oh yeah.
Samba y banda. Come on.
Very simple, but okay.
Banda y samba. To Brazil.
Okay, second round. That wasn't the most super difficult song of the world, but you know, it hit the right things in the commercial category. Ram-pa-dum-pa-dum, bum-pa-dum-dum. Yeah, many times it's just easy. And we're down to the yes no's. So we got 26 more to go. Got 8 and a maybe. Oh my god, that is gonna be such a long second round.
That boy is Benny Hanna.
Sometimes I feel dead inside. Won't you bring me back to life?
And by the way, if you wanna chat with us, and if you want your chat to appear on the stream, please go to twitch.tv/recordlabelboss and join the fun there. And you can also go to recordlabelboss.com and learn more about me. Even though you probably can't learn a whole lot on the website, but there's quite a bit on there. I've been told I'm a personality streamer. That's the last thing I wanted to hear, you know? Because I was always thinking I'm actually doing something interesting here, you know? Oh, Lisa, you like it? Okay. And what was that for? That I like it for the samba or for the steer moose people? Because I have a little bit of a streaming delay to you. So sometimes I don't know what people mean when they say I like it. Okay, interesting. I know a lot of people that like this medieval type of music. It has its listenership, you know. Psycho Ward. Psycho Ward. Psycho Ward. Psycho Ward. No, I don't think so. That's a cover, no. No covers. Cooper Gabriel. I don't even want to read this text. Title. So who enjoyed our excursus to economy today? Who thinks we should talk more about non-music related topics, and who thinks we shouldn't? I would really like to know your feedback on that, you know. If we should go more into non-music topics, or if we should stay on music topics.
They say you don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. And no, I don't wanna be alone in the world out there. Tried this, tried that, tried everything, coming right back. Won't you wait for me? I need you to stay right there. I'm coming right away, my dear.
Do you like the variety? That's okay, good. I'm skipping a bit. Okay, that wasn't too bad for EDM. Wasn't totally bad. Guy from Romania. Okay. Okay, next one. Art Co-op.
There's a time to laugh, time to cry. I want to live the full spectrum of life.
Okay, I
If you leave me free,
don't
I
think
might
that's
pick
gonna
some
work out
design.
between us.
Please don't tie me up with colored ribbon.
Okay, that is the very, very basic. Sorry. Nope. That was too basic. That was like singing wasn't good, and then just guitar. Oh, another one from Art Co-op.
Feels like I'm looking through a window deeply into you, and I'm ashamed of how.
And for some reason, we only got 3
I don't
people on
wanna
Twitch.
look away.
Or am I seeing this wrong?
Some kind of
Let me just check this out. Because usually that indicates technical problems. Nah, we got a bunch of them on here. I don't know why it's saying 3.
I had a hole in my heart, but you cut it right out. Times I thought I was straight.
No, it's good.
Made it shine.
And if you have been, if you saw our channel on Twitch as a advertised channel and came to us from the Twitch engagement, please let me know, because I'm always keeping track of these viewers.
Say there's other people, but it's all a lie.
Because we're trying to see what our Twitch engagement is actually like.
Only you could be so patient. Only you could mend the aching. Only you made it easy to forget all the pain. Only you were my escaping. Only you could set me free then. Yeah, you made it easy to forget all the pain.
Okay. The daily spreadsheets, these guys have sent me a bunch of stuff.
Shaking off, stretching off everyone who keeps saying it gets harder feeling stuff. Breaking out, freaking out, all the games are all.
Nope. Plan to escape. Okay, nope. Oh, come on. Yep, no. Scarlett Taylor. Okay.
What's the better to you? Getting with you and all the things that you do. Bad boy running on the.
Okay, this is an artist that says that they're signed to a label, but they still sent me a thing to release a single. Why?
Loose. Red lip girl in the red bottom shoes. Whipping down the west coast 102. Black leather dreams in the sunset hues. Smoking in the backseat.
I don't get it.
Getting into trouble is what we do. Yeah, city lights all blue. What are we gonna do?
Huh. It's just not a good song. So weird. She's got like 50,000 followers and stuff, and this song is just like not good. Plus, I don't want to muck about with people that are signed on other labels.
Sometimes you just feel like you don't belong. Sometimes I just feel like
Because it's kind of like useless.
what is that heavy surrounding, creeping on my breath? As if I'm trapped in the mist of the shame. Look at the look at the darkness.
Okay, Lisa, I enjoy watching to hear what is being created by other artists. I also like the information you give beyond the music. I learn a lot of each coverage. That's very nice of you to say, Lisa. That's kind of like why I'm doing it, you know. Hell no, says P. I'm like the messenger of independent, the preacher of freedom, the evangelist of the music revolution. Because one time I had a panel and I suggested that there was absolutely no need to keep the music industry as it is. Because people were arguing that they were going to go to the government, and the government was then going to go to the labels, and the government was then going to force Spotify and the labels to pay more money, you know. And I said to them, why should we keep a system that is broken and that entirely exists to disenfranchise artists and people that create content, and instead not just make our own system? Why would you go to the government and then you would get paid, instead of, you know, $1,000 for 1 million streams, you could get paid $1,000.50 for 1 million streams? Why would you do that? Why would you just not take back control of your own creations and turn the music industry independent? Create your own record labels, be on them, market and distribute yourself. What do you need these people for that are taking the money from you? And there was a lot of people that agreed with me and were really happy with what I said, but there was a lot of people that thought that I was like just kind of some kind of shit talker. But the underlying truth is that if a system is so disadvantageous to its participants, that if you change it for 10 or 20%, it's not going to all of a sudden be better. Why would you keep it? Because the only reason that the music industry was set up the way that it was because in the 70s and in the years before 2000, you needed to have physical distribution. So you needed to have a company that can deliver CDs to 180 countries in the world. And this is why you needed to be signed to a major label, because they would have the power to distribute your music, physical product. But nobody needs physical product anymore. Why do you need these mega companies to distribute your digital product? You don't. So the entire purpose of the music industry system, namely to operate a very large logistic to distribute music, isn't there anymore, but we're still paying this industry as if they would still be doing it, but they're not. They're now distributing digitally, and I will tell you very honestly, I have a contract for all of my labels where digital distribution does not cost me any money. A label of any kind of significance will nowadays be able to enter into a distribution contract where you don't pay for distribution anymore. There's a certain licensing fee that you pay, a flat fee every year, but the distribution itself doesn't cost money because it's so cheap and it's automated. It's fully automated. So there is no reason other than that these large companies have a lot of money, but a bank has a lot of money. And if you take a loan from a record label for $1 million, you could just as well take a loan from a bank. The bank is probably going to be a more trustworthy partner. I would take a loan from a bank any day than taking a loan from a label. Seriously. Before I take a loan from Universal, I'm going to take a loan from any bank in the world. So if you think about it, why do all these people still exist? Why do we have Spotify that takes 70% of independent artists' income? Why do you have, these many companies that take income from creators for essentially providing very little to no value at all? And then you want to incrementally change that system to where the people that are not providing any value and getting all the money would then still not provide any value, but pay you 10% more. I said to all of my artists, sell your music yourself, bring all your fans to our web store, where if we sell $10 worth of stuff, $10 worth of stuff come into the pool. And our artists, when our artists sell an album on Count Zero Records, they get $5. We get $5, they get $5. We charge the tax on top. And you can then calculate how many plays that is. So for one person buying one album, that artist usually gets as much as he gets. Or let's just rephrase it. Selling 10 albums on our site is usually more than the artist gets from Spotify in a year. So I say to people, just bring 5 people to buy your album, you'll have more than from Spotify. And then people find out that you can buy the merchandise, you can buy other stuff, and all of a sudden, everybody says, wow, you actually don't need these companies. You can buy everything from that artist, and you can see everything from that artist, and you can experience everything from that artist on his own resources. And of course, Spotify is very cool because all the music is on there and you can just playlist and everything. But that is a fan-centric view. It's great for a fan to not pay anything. So if you can go to a restaurant and not pay for the food that you eat, that's obviously great for you. But it will mean that the restaurant is going to close sooner or later because they can't afford to run it, right? So if you think this everything is for free economy further, it's an unsustainable economy. Because if everything is free and the only one who gets paid are the middlemen, why would anybody still create content? Right, they would do it because they want to be famous. They would do it because they would give away their content for free, and then you would enjoy it for free and other people would make money with it. But then the question is, does the content creator need these platforms that take all the money? And then, of course, usually people say, yeah, because they provide engagement. And then the platforms say, we have a new thing. You now need to pay us for engagement. And at this point, you're paying your people. Oh, hey, we have a caller. You're paying your people. Right, let's bring this caller in. Hello, caller?
Hello.
Hello, you're on the line. Who are you?
Yes. This is Paul calling from New York City. How are you?
How are you doing, Paul? I'm doing good. Are you listening to the show?
Yeah, I'm looking at you on my iPad, and now I just turned the sound off. And
excellent.
I actually used to be in the record industry in a funny kind of way, so I was really enjoying what you're saying.
Really?
I was a college. Yeah, I was a college student at Brooklyn College, and I had 3 different internships at major labels. I worked for Arista Labels,
Wow.
Arista Records, EMI Capital, and the third one is escaping me right now. But basically,
Okay.
I did what you did. I listened to cassette tapes. and I had
Wow,
to-
those were the days. Cassettes. That's right. There you go. Awesome, dude.
Now I'm starting to feel old now. I could say, but cassettes aren't gone. People are still using the cassettes.
We're in the same boat. I have the cassettes in my basement, man.
I got rid of them all. Every once in a while, I need it. I'll need a cassette player, and then I have to go on eBay and buy like a used Walkman. You could still pick one up for like $10.
Yes.
But I'll tell you real quick. The reason I didn't end up in the music industry is when I was working for Arista Records.
Uh-huh.
I worked for someone. His name was Jerry Lembo, who's still out there. He had a newsletter that they printed on physical paper. Remember paper? And that was called the Lembo Letter. And
Uh-huh.
his job was to go around to radio stations and get records added to the playlist,
Yes.
which I didn't even really totally understand what they were doing. But I basically it was slave labor because I was getting college credit. But I was like, I'd go to the radio station, I would stuff, vinyl record into a package, send it to somebody. And after about a year and a half of doing that, I said, is there any chance of me getting a job here? So his response was, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Which right then I knew I'm not getting a job there because that was not an answer to my question. I basically would have taken anything. I would have worked in the mailroom.
Yeah.
But he was giving me like a fancy kind of an answer of like, in some sense he had a point. Like, did I want to be an A&R guy? Did I want to do what he was doing? But when you're 19, 20 years old, you don't really have
Yeah.
the answer to that. But it's really fascinating what you're saying because I literally don't understand since then what has happened. For instance, if you read Billboard magazine and you see the top 100 songs, that doesn't mean what it used to mean, right?
That's right.
So what does that really mean these days? It means that those are downloads. It doesn't mean that people are walking into Tower Records anymore.
Yeah, that's right. It's an accumulated statistics of downloads, of streams, of purchases. It's heavily faked and forged. Large companies are buying streams. They're bundling CDs with other products, and they're essentially, for the most part, buying their ways into the Billboard charts, which makes it even more difficult for an independent artist to get in there, because if you don't have like $10 million to buy fake streams from Russian hackers, you're not getting anywhere near the billboards unless you're like super lucky and your song goes totally viral, but how many times does that happen?
So let me ask you a question. So these days you say we don't need Capitol EMI Records. So let's say we have an artist like Rihanna, and she has a number one hit song.
Yeah.
What is the record company doing for her? How did she become number one? Does she need them? Let's assume she went from being unknown to being famous. What are they really doing for The Weeknd? What is the big company doing for these tremendous R&B stars with a number one hit?
What they're mostly doing nowadays is they've become like financial institutions. They front money, so they will take $10 million and invest it, and then receive $100 million back. So they're essentially loaning the artist money that they then use to market that artist, and then get that money back 10 times. That is a loan with an incredible interest rate. So they're mostly working like a financial institution because everything else can be made by other people as well. You can have a promotion company, you can have a digital distribution company, But what sets the big ones apart is that they have deep pockets. And artists are generally in a place where they cannot get loans from banks. So they turn to labels because the big labels enable them to put like $1 million into promotion for Billboard and put $1 million in promotion on social media, which these artists would generally not be able to do.
Right, but they must be doing something. Your point is, well taken about them just being a substitute for a bank, but they must be doing something more than that, because if an unknown kid wants to sign with, Sony Records, there must be some other benefit going on there to make them quote unquote blow up.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, to make the argument ridiculous, if we compare, I don't know anything about Rihanna, but let's pretend that she was unknown on Monday and she was a superstar on Friday.
Yeah.
And you're saying in your business model, we have a guy named John Smith in the same exact situation, and that on Monday he's unknown. Now he signs with your record company. On Friday he puts out a record and he gets $5. Why are we convincing him to do your model?
Two questions. Number one, what are they doing? They're paying everybody. Every blog, every playlister, every radio station host, every DJ, everybody gets paid. Payola isn't the exemption, it's the absolute standard. You can today not get your music placed anywhere without paying the people. The payment doesn't take the form of, hello, I'm hereby bribing you, but everybody's saying, you have to compensate me for the effort that I'm taking to write this article, and I'm going to be totally free in what I write. But unless you do pay me for the article, I will not write an article. So the labels have an extensive network of people that they're paying. And when they're releasing your music, they're paying thousands of people to promote your music. And all of a sudden, that music will be everywhere. Hundreds of blog articles will be written. There will be print media that's talking about it. There'll be radio stations that are talking about it. There'll be TV stations talking about it. And they're all getting paid. And that essentially comes down to connections and money. And that is the value that they provide because they're hugely connected and they're paying everybody off.
How would that really be different from, say, let's say 1982, when Madonna came out?
Yeah.
The same exact thing had to take place. They had they printed a physical vinyl album and a vinyl single 45, but they had to also get all the radio people to play it.
Yes.
So what would the difference is? The physical product is the only difference.
Yep, that's right. They're still doing essentially their old business model completely, just minus the physical product. That's how the majors currently operate. They don't do anything revolutionary new. They mostly rely on industry connections and paying people to play their music. And Todd Lansing here is saying it's not even about whether or not it's good all the time, just the pure coverage will generate plays and you get paid in today's day. That's right. The pure coverage will be that. And of course, they bought into Spotify. So Spotify places their music above everybody else. They put it on playlists. People will discover it. You'll log on to Spotify. The music will be there. But you're right. The system is just the same as it was in the 80s. That means that a very well-connected large company just pays to get these songs placed. And also, I want to come back on your question, why should people go with people like us? We do things different. We do direct-to-fan marketing, which means we market the artist directly to the fan. We offer a 50% share of what you're making. Major labels typically offer anywhere from 2% to 6%. And we offer a working with an artist that is honest, that is fair, to where we are in their corner, and we try to create an environment where people actually want to be with us. But in the end, it is true. We do not have as many connections and as much money as they do, and there are limits to what we can do. But going into the future, I feel like that's not really going to matter because labels are increasingly now casting artists. What I mean by that is that the way that they casted Dua Lipa was that they had already a complete marketing setup for a white female singer that was doing pop music akin to Madonna, that they could turn into the next Madonna, and they were just looking for a person to fill that niche. They're not really looking for artists, they're looking for people that fit into the stories that they have already created. And one such story being the story of Billie Eilish. That was the story, bedroom girl makes it big. And then you just find the actor that fits the story. So the chance that you're going to get into a major label contract and they're actually going to push you is going to be very low because they're looking for people that fit into their stories rather than actual artists.
So these days, I mean, there's no such thing. I mean, I gave away my age already by saying cassette tapes. But I mean, I'm a rock music fan. So when I was a teenager, I still wanted to hear the next rock group. Was usually a plural name. The Pretenders, the Cars. That does not exist anymore. So, for all intents and purposes, like Pete Townsend said, rock is dead. And right now, and that's not like an old guy. That's the truth. So really, what they want to do now is get. I can't think of the artist. There's a song called "Say So," SAYSO, which is a big TikTok hit. It's a number one song. And their goal basically these days is not to have a group or an artist putting out an album. It's to make one song blow up by a singular R&B, black, white, green, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And make that song blow up, TikTok, go viral.
Yeah, because it's the same thing as with actors. Once you have an actor that's a strong name, you're going to have to pay him, and he's going to have power. And they figured out if they have powerless artists, they can make all the money. And a guy that has one hit is a powerless artist because he doesn't have a band, he doesn't have a following, he doesn't have fans that will be loyal to him. So if you just blow up individual singles from people here, people there, and these guys never have any kind of basis upon which to negotiate their contracts, you can have like more of the revenue because for that first single that they're blowing up, they're usually getting extremely good contracts with the artists, and then the artist just isn't important anymore. And that's what they're trying to facilitate. They're looking for stuff that's blowing up already. They're not really looking even for things they can blow up. They're now looking to piggyback off of current and existing success to find with AI and computer-generated models things that are popular, that are going viral, but are unsigned, then attach to them, get them in a contract, and actually piggyback off their success, explode the single, take a lot of money, and then exit the artist just like you would in a startup company. They would typically ride them for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 singles until the hype around that artist has kind of like worn off, and then go on to the next viral hit. So it's increasingly changing to work. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah. No. So for a brand new person these days, if you're talking to like an 18-year-old kid, let's assume this person has a lot of talent. We would tell them, on your own, try to make yourself blow up, whether it be YouTube, however you want to do it, TikTok, and then see if you could get a deal.
Yes, absolutely. And then have somebody that you can trust. And here's where we come into play. That is actually on your side, that will honestly manage you, that will have your best interest in heart. Because if you yourself deal with these majors, you will lose. They will give you contracts that are impossible to understand. There's no way that an average run-of-the-mill lawyer will be able to negotiate a decent contract with these companies, and they know that. So when you blow up, be cool, be very cool, but be prepared. You'll have to have a team ready of experts Otherwise, you'll be taken advantage of. And as it happened to quite a few of my artists, you'll have your 15 minutes of fame, and then the system will spit you out. Because there's already another kid that's gone viral right now, so they don't need you anymore. You know, there's somebody who dances better, who's more funny, and whose cat is even more cute. Because there's a star born every 15 minutes. So...
Right. It's, in a way, nothing has changed because the record company is famous for ripping people off. Like, there's you have all the famous stories about all the black artists who were ripped off, like Little Richard. I mean, until he was in his 50s and 60s, had no money from any of those records. Roy Orbison, all these people. And they also, by the way, were in a system where you had songwriters trying to write hits for them. And that thing doesn't even exist anymore. And I just read the Bruce Springsteen autobiography.
Yeah.
His contract, I don't know if you read it, but
no.
If you're into this type of stuff, he wrote it himself. He's a great writer.
Mm-hmm. But
this is what happened to him in New Jersey. Basically, he's in New Jersey. From the time he's 15 years old, he's in rock bands. And when he gets to be about 20 years old, he stops touring, but he used to fill places, let's say 2,000 seats. He'd sell tickets. That's being an unsigned artist from the age of, let's say, 15 to age 20.
Mm-hmm.
And his car mechanic knew a manager in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
So he was going there for some other reason one day, and he's like, "Hey, Bruce, you want to go for a ride to Manhattan?" He's like, "Yeah." They get in the car, they go up there, and he says, "Play him one of your songs." He plays him the song. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. The guy says to him, he goes, "All right, I want to manage you," and he gets him to sign. I'll make a long story short. He gets him to sign a contract in about a week. This is his contract.
Mm-hmm.
50-50, which is unheard of in entertainment.
Yeah.
What we're talking about more like even actors, you're talking 25%, like 35%. The guy would be considered a pig if your manager's taking 35%.
Yep.
They signed 50-50, and he signs away 100% of his publishing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he says, now to this guy's credit, his name is Mike Appel, and this is his big claim to fame. He did other things. He wrote songs for the Partridge Family, whatever. But he signs Bruce. Bruce doesn't know anyone.
Mm-hmm.
He knows his car mechanic, and by accident he meets this guy.
Yep.
He says, he goes, "Next week I'm going up to CBS." It sounds like a made-up story. "Next week I'm going up to CBS Records. Come along with me." Goes up there, and he brings a guitar. He doesn't even have a case. He's walking through Manhattan with an acoustic guitar in his hand. He goes up there, and he plays his songs for John Hammond, who is the guy who signed Bob Dylan. And this guy from New Jersey has the balls to say to one of the heads of CBS Records, he goes, "All right, well, you signed Bob Dylan. Let's see if it's a fluke. Let's see if you can hear that this guy is talented." He basically insults him.
Yeah.
And the guy gets really mad, and Bruce plays him like 3 songs. He goes, "I want you on CBS Records." And that's the end of the story. He's still on CBS Records right now. And 3 albums into it, he meets a writer from Rolling Stone magazine, and he goes, "Your contract, you basically became a slave. You're making this guy a multi-millionaire." And Born to Run, the album Born to Run was about to come out. And he convinced him to get a lawyer and sue the first guy from New Jersey to void the contract, which is almost impossible to do. And anyway, I won't bore you. The rest of the book is about that. But I mean, these people are in the business of ripping people off. The average musician artist doesn't know. They're too scared. They're more interested in making music. They're not going to go like, "All right, let me find someone to read a contract for me."
Yeah, that's right. And that is where I try to come in with my companies, because I said there's got to be a better way to all of this. There's got to be a way where artists and labels work together, and where everybody can enjoy the fruits of their labor, and where everybody is paid fairly. I'm saying songwriters, I'm saying producers, I'm saying videographers, models, anybody who works in the creative industry gets paid decently, and the label isn't out to get them, but is actually there to support them. That's kind of like what I'm trying to do, because I think it's more necessary than ever before. Because as I said, I come from energy, you know. And when I came to music, I'm like, wow, everybody's ripping everybody off in this industry. What is it with these people, you know? Don't they have any kind of business ethics or any kind of, you know, inhibitations, moral inhibitations?
No, they don't.
They don't. And I was like, what the F is going on here, you know? Because in energy, we were trying to treat our customers good, make them, you know, convinced that we had a good product. We did a lot of environmental stuff. We like gave them free things. And generally, we're trying to make customers happy so that they would stay. That was the consensus, you know? Make the customer happy, have a good product. They will stay with you. You'll make money. And then you come here and they're like, yeah, let's do whatever the fuck we want and rip off everybody. And people accept it. Because it's the norm, it's normal. And I'm like, there is nothing normal about this.
Which country were you selling energy in? I'm just curious.
In Austria. Austria is a small country in Europe. And I was working at a state energy provider in the second largest state. And that state has about 1 million inhabitants. And the energy company there has about 5 billion revenue every year. So it's about the size of Warner Music. So the smallest energy company in the world is just about as big as the bigger major labels. So for an energy guy, the music sector is like super tiny. It's like, wow, you guys have like 5 billion revenue worldwide. What is that? You know, it's like,
yeah,
but
it's a different world, certainly from 1980 to now. It's a different world, but even 10 years ago, it's a different world. So, you know, the other really famous people who got totally ripped off is the Beatles.
Yeah.
The Beatles signed their contract behind the Cavern Club in the back alley. It sounds like a made up story, but that's they got zero publishing. And John Lennon said he thought publishing meant that it's a magazine interview. He literally thought that's what the word publishing meant.
Most artists still do.
And what's his face? Paul McCartney.
Yep.
So who owns the Beatles songs? Michael Jackson owned the Beatles songs.
That's right.
So Paul McCartney's always telling the story. He's like, one day I'm gonna buy my songs back from you, and he got some of it, but they never really got all of it. That's why you see it on all these TV commercials, because it's Sony Music.
Yeah. And Todd Lansing says, even if they find somebody to read it, and he refers to the contract, that person is usually either incompetent to the subject or working against the artist behind their back. Absolutely, Todd. The few times, okay, everybody that signs a contract with me, I say to them, have your lawyer read it. If you want. If you want, I'll make a sitting with the lawyer. I'll talk it over. Read the contract, you know? And everybody says to me, I'm going to get a lawyer. And none of them ever do. And I'm happy that people trust me that much. But there isn't anybody who has actually read, understood, and lawyered up when they were signing contracts with me. And I found that to be extremely peculiar because, you know, I don't know, where I come from, there isn't a single contract you would make anywhere where there wasn't like 4 lawyers on the table, and they're so freaking annoying that you have to usually like muzzle or gag them, or they'll just fight like alley cats.
You know, people hate lawyers. I work with lawyers right now. My profession is I'm a stenographer, so I work in court. I'm typing on that funny machine.
Oh, yeah, I never understood that. Never. I see it in movies.
I do it as a freelancer, so I could go to a lawyer's office or I could work in court also. But people hate lawyers, and this book, Born to Run, Mike Appel, the manager, told Bruce, get your lawyer to read this, and he never read it, and he put it off, and he put it off, and he just signed it in a bar, like doing shots of tequila. And my opinion is the reason they do it is because these guys they're just about. I mean, Bruce Springsteen basically it is an artist, and that's a different personality. They don't want to be bothered.
Yes.
Not only do they not want to be bothered, they see it as a form of torture.
Yeah.
Like to have to go sit with like grown-ups who are wearing suits. It's scary, and it's like, isn't it easier to just like like yesterday I wasn't famous, I had no money. So isn't it easier to just sign this thing and now I have something? Now I
Yeah.
got a deal. Now I could tell all my friends I got a deal. I'm signed.
Yeah,
And that's where they're coming from. But
absolutely.
I'm a songwriter myself, and when I did these record internships, I used to try to get my music in front of these people, and one or two of them, they were nice enough to listen, and they gave me good feedback. But at some point, someone said to me, he's like, you really have to spend the money on copywriting your songs. Don't do the, they tell you, like in the United States, you could put it in an envelope, and then you put a stamp on it, you get a postmark. That's called a poor man's copyright.
Yes.
And it will hold up in court. It will hold up in court. But he's like, let me get you a lawyer. The guy gets me. So I'm personally not scared of lawyers. A little bit. But I'm a little bit more business savvy. So I got this guy to do it for me, and he took 3 of my songs. He copyrighted it, and they wanted he sent me a bill for like $500, which I never paid. I was basically it was at the end of high school. I didn't have the $500.
Yeah.
The guy calls me screaming. The lawyer calls me, but he's a music lawyer. Guy in Manhattan. He's like, "You screwed me. I did this for you, and you never sent me the check for $500." I'm like, dude, I'll get it to you. I'm going to get you $100. But he was very upset about the fight. But it was very funny. The language he was using was just like he was in a corporate negotiation. He's like, "You fucked me over on the $500." I'm like, dude, I don't have $500.
Yeah.
But that is, so for someone like me, I'll tell you right now, there's no industry left where you could say, okay, let me sell my songs to X, Y, and Z, and they will record them. And like the old Nashville thing doesn't really exist anymore. Probably the last place it does exist is in country music, where actual songwriters place their songs with artists.
Yeah, but
I think-
that is all dissolving. That is all dissolving. And in terms of copyright, I wanted to say that we actually do not register songs with the state United States government, copyright.gov. Because that costs money, and it actually doesn't do anything for us, because we create copywriting by creating a chain of evidence, by sending it to our distributor, the distributor sending it to a fingerprinting service, and a fingerprinting service enforcing the digital rights. Thereby, we have established precedent that we have published this, and that's fine, because what a lot of people don't realize is if you go to copyright.gov and you register, that is for the United States only. That doesn't have any kind of legal implication in any other country in the world. So, protecting your material is usually something that artists are ill-equipped to do. And what you also said, I want to come back to that point. Artists are annoyed by administration. Artists are highly annoyed by administration, so they don't want to bother with it. They don't want to listen to me talking about it. They don't want to do it. They don't want to see the paperwork. They care so little for administration that they would be willing to ruin their career just in order to not read these freaking papers. And that is something that I just really cannot understand at all, because these papers are about your future. And nobody's ever made a demand to me that made sense. That is the funniest thing. You'd think that you negotiate contracts and people will be coming up to you with demands. They don't. Whenever they make a demand, it's actually an invalid demand because the person has no idea what they're talking about. They're like, "I want my name on the song." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" "I want my name to be guaranteed that my name is always on the song." And I'm like, that is a given. It's your song. It will never be not your song. "Yeah, I want that in writing." I said, "It's already in writing." It's And these
right,
are
what does that even mean?
Yeah.
I want it on the song. That I'm thinking of an old 45 record where it says the name of the song, and then in parentheses it says that it has the writers' names. They're thinking of something like that.
Yeah, and so they're concerned about things that aren't really a thing, but they're not arguing anything that you could actually argue, because all they did was take the contract to their mother, who then read it. I get that so many times that they just take it to somebody in the family and be like, "Yeah, I let my dad read it," and he's good with law because he got sued 3 times, like, face palm,
Their mother said to them, "Make sure you get your name on that song."
That's exactly right. And the good thing is, I mean, what we do, for example, and I love that we do that, is everybody on all of my labels has the same contract. And when we update the contract, it gets updated for everybody. So when we make a mistake, we fix it for everybody. When we change something, we change it for everybody, so that all of the artists can feel like none of them are being singled out or taken advantage of or anything like that. Everybody has the very same conditions. And every year we kind of like improve because we add more services and things like that. And then a lot of artists are very happy to know that 50 other guys have the same contract, and they're fine signing it because they figure, if 50 people before me signed this, then it's going to be probably okay for me too. And what they then do is they don't read it. They call other artists, and they call them on Facebook or something, and they say, "Hey, you've been working with this label, you've been having this contract, what do you think about it?" And then they value that input a lot more than actually reading the contract,
You know what it's like? It's almost like where like someone gets robbed in a bad neighborhood, and they don't want to call the police because they don't trust the police.
Yes.
But like they know if they call their friends, like they could just maybe track down how their TV was stolen.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're saying they don't even have a valid counter offer. So I guess a valid counter offer would be like, let's say, just to make things simple, because I don't know anything about contracts these days or your contracts, but let's say you said we're taking 25%, you're taking 75%.
Yeah.
The valid comeback would be no, man. I want you to get 10%.
Yeah.
That would be like a valid point of negotiation, not.
Yeah.
I mean, the most ridiculous version of that is these rock groups in the 70s, like, let's say, Aerosmith, whoever was that they demanded that there be, I think maybe it was Van Halen, there could not be any green M&Ms in the bowl of M&Ms. It was written into the contract.
Yeah, yes. That is completely useless. And of course you can have that because it doesn't cost the label any kind of money, and they will be like, sure, you can have your teddy bear in every hotel that you go. And we'll make sure the teddy bear is there, And then,
well, like I think with Bruce Springsteen, he wanted a car.
Yeah.
So they get an advance from the label. I think they got like, let's say $75,000, which in 1972, $75,000 was pretty good. So he bought him. He wanted a vintage car. He got like a '57 Chevy for $2,000. And in the meantime, they had to buy equipment. They had to buy amplifiers for the guitars. They needed a new drum set. They bought all that stuff, but that also amounts to, let's say, $5,000.
Yep.
But now the band owes that back to the label.
Yes.
Before they ever start seeing. So there's the part where you're saying about them being like a bank. So they will impress the artist by giving them a hot tub and a Corvette or a BMW, and now, hey, man, now I got a BMW.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, the guy who really made the money is the manager or whoever got you the deal. He's just deposited $1 million into his bank account, and you have a BMW, which is very nice. And you're thrilled because you're the same person who's scared of going to a meeting with a lawyer.
That's right.
So
that is also.
Anyway, I learned. I learned a lot from what you're saying today because I have a lot of friends who are still. Some are in the music business, some not, but everybody loves music, and we don't understand. Like when you sit, like getting back to Billboard magazine, we literally don't know what the hell is going on because there's no such thing as radio anymore.
Yeah.
You're not gonna turn on the radio and find a rock station, and I would guess that an 18-year-old person these days is not turning on a radio.
No, they're not. They're discovering music through playing Minecraft. There's a lot of music discovery going on through computer games. That's why all the majors are now trying to place their music in computer games like Fortnite, Minecraft, and these things because discovery or the way that people find music works entirely different, but it still works with bribable people. That is the bottom line. There's always somebody to bribe. There's always somebody to pay off, and if you have the money to pay off people, then you can get your music discovered.
So what will we say today to a 20-year-old person who, for argument's sake, let's stipulate he has the talent of Paul McCartney, and he's sitting right now on 20 original songs, and just for the sake of fantasy, we'll say we'll all agree these are great pop songs. What should this person do?
They should be independent until there's a certain amount of indicators showing that they are having a breaking career. At which point, independent labels and smaller labels will be interested. And then at that point, you have to start building a team that is on your side and not on anybody else's side. And then with that team,
and what's going to be the first step in them taking the songs before they get to that point? What are they going to do with that music?
I would basically self-release it. It's not optimal, but it's better than nothing. You can go with a self-release service, or you can go with a release service of a label, which is better and probably cheaper. So we have one of our services is to professionally release music for people for 15% of their earnings, which is actually pretty competitive, and then it's professionally released. Or you can go to DistroKid or others and then pay a certain amount of money every year for them to release your music. Then your music will be out there. It'll be somewhat copyrighted, and you can take it to the next step.
The downside would be the copyright risk.
A bit, not much, because you're not having you wouldn't have protection necessarily like a label grants. Like, for example, what can I say? The services that we render to independent artists are valuable because they are services that you can otherwise not get. There's only certain things that you can do with DIY distribution, and there's nobody else. There's no DIY distributor that offers the services that we do. So you're not going to get these services from anybody but an independent label. But if I would be saying unequivocally, go to an independent label and everything will be right, I would be lying, because a lot of these guys are actually not honest also. So I would take it. I would take it as far as I could possibly take it myself, and that means you have to become a businessman. And if you cannot become a businessman, then you'll have to have a friend that can become a businessman. And if you don't have that, then it's very difficult. So, but at the end of the day, you need to consider yourself as an artist, as a company, and not as an artist. If you consider yourself as an artist, you will get chewed up and eaten. If you consider yourself to be a business, it'll be much more appropriate. And that is a little bit sad. A lot of people don't want to hear that. But the artists that I know that got successful did a lot of stuff for themselves, and that put them in a much stronger position of negotiation.
Very interesting. So they have to just be, that's the thing. People who are into music are generally not like that. They're not going to think, oh, guess what? Let me start an LLP or an LLC, and now I'm a corporate entity. Like you said before, you can't convince them to read a contract, but probably if you said to them, hey, on Wednesday night, meet me at this club and I'll buy you dinner and drinks, they would probably show up for that. So
yeah, they would.
That's super interesting. I'm trying to think of people who did that. Coming to mind right now is like Justin Bieber. Basically, didn't he just only put out YouTube videos?
Yeah. But he was discovered.
And then,
he was discovered and signed by a manager, and then the manager pitched him to the label. That was classic.
I had a couple of family members who want to get into acting, and my advice to them was to get a reputable manager.
Yeah.
That they could verify this is someone with a name in the business. Not that you're not going to get ripped off by a manager, but the thing is that someone who's really in the business, who's constantly seeing casting directors, they're in the mix. If you're going to try to do this on your own and try to learn like 200 years worth of entertainment history in a week, you're not going to do it. You should celebrate the way you think you should celebrate when you sign your record deal. You should more celebrate when you get the manager who's going to work for you.
Yeah, absolutely. If you find one trustworthy manager that will actually work for you, you have accomplished much. If you find one record label president from an indie label that you can get on fair terms with, you have just given your career an incredible boost. And that's what I mean with you have to bring people on your team. And a lot of artists just don't put enough time into bringing people on their team because they think that, just by signing a contract, these people should be rendering them services. And yeah, they should, but most of them don't. The sad truth is that most managers don't do anything for you, and most labels don't do anything for you either. And the reason why these people still make money is because artists can't be bothered to research who they're contracting with. People are obsessively researching phone plans. People know everything about every phone plan. Oh, the minute is so much here, and the basic fee is this, and then they will give you a long distance plan for that. But they cannot be bothered to research the people that are going to make or break their career.
I think it's on some level it's scary to them.
Yeah.
Because the people I know who are like this, including myself, although I'm obviously more savvy, it's like, let's say tonight you sit down, you're at home, you take out the frozen bottle of vodka, and you start writing, and you come up with a riff that you swear you never heard before, and you really think that this thing is going to be a hit song.
Yeah.
That's the type of thing that's going to get, quote unquote, an artist excited.
Yeah.
And that's what's on the mind of an artist. So to get them to shift gears now and think like a lawyer is, you said it. So.
Yeah.
But hey, listen, it's a pleasure talking to you. I learned a lot.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks so much. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask me. Our record label is called Count Zero Records. It's countzerorecords.com. Anybody has any question for me, I'm on the show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. People can ask questions. I'll openly answer them. If they're looking for a good label, we're here. We're trying to spread the gospel of independence.
Very good. Check out the Springsteen book. You're going to enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And the guy's manager, he wrote a book to contest Bruce's book. And it's not a nasty book, but what might interest you is he put all the original contracts in the book from 1972.
Yeah.
And all the deposition transcripts where he sued the first manager to rescind the contract, which, as I said, is an almost impossible task to do. And they couldn't do it, but they settled out of court. But I think you'll really get a kick out of that. And I'm going to go check out your website.
Okay, thanks so much. And stay connected with us,
Thanks,
Paul.
man.
And thank you for calling in. That was like an awesome story. And thank you for being on the show, Paul. All the best to you. And hey, stay safe, Corona and all that stuff. We don't want anything to happen to you.
You too.
Okay.
Be good. Best of luck.
Best
Take
of
care.
luck to you
Bye-bye.
too. Bye-bye. Okay, and I think I'm having a little bit of a technical problem here. Right, okay, there you go. It's back on. All right, for the guys that just didn't understand the conversation, I'm not trying to start a label. I actually have a group of independent labels, and I'm reviewing music for these labels, and I'm giving advice to people in and around the music industry. So that's what that was all about. Hey, Paul, by the way, that was really awesome. Thanks so much for calling in. That was really cool. So that was our little excursion into the world of music. I'm going to catch up on the chat here. Let me just quickly read. Okay, Todd gave a lot of good feedback. And Salted says, data analytics are the future of becoming popular. May become friends with a data scientist. That is very true. That is a very good advice, Salted. Absolutely great. And Salted says Spotify playlists are all rigged. That is correct. About 90% of them are rigged. You can pay people to put you on the songs in the popular. Yes, you can only pay. Only pay works. Nothing else other than paying works. And thanks Shadier for the superb Owl award. And there was somebody else who gave an award that was really cute, really nice of you guys. Thank you so much for being on the show and for listening. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask them in the chat. And Arbitrator says, well, there you go again. Again, you're slowly reaching people. Yeah, it's been amazing, you know, Arby, to see this thing grow from like five people to, you know, people calling in from all around the world, people listening on various channels. And, oh, what is that? Okay, I'll save that for later. It's been an amazing journey, and it's, I don't know, I never thought that anything that I would do after starting my label would go this way, you know? That everything I thought it would be didn't turn out to be true. But that was also partially because I didn't have much idea about the music industry as on a whole, and I had to learn all of this, you know. Okay, this is bad. And then I found out that, you know, after 3 years of reading everything I could find about the industry, I all of a sudden knew more than most people, you know. I've been on panels with people that won so many platinum records, and these guys just barely know what publishing rights are. So the amount of knowledge that is on the artist side of things is very low. So it's the things that they don't know that hurt them the most, you know. Yeah, it froze, yeah. Okay, no. But interesting, you know. And I'm so blessed that I have people like Arby who have been with me since the beginning. Don't even know when I picked Arby up. Can't even tell anymore. It's got to be like half a year or longer. And then new people coming in. And it's like interesting, you know. I didn't plan for me to have a show or for me to be well known. I actually just wanted to run the business. I never wanted to become a public person or to be somebody who speaks, you know, about the music industry or independent musicians or anything like that. I certainly never thought I was going to have like a TV show that I do 3 times a week talking about stuff. I was digging that last guitar song, hoping it progresses though and is not too repetitive. We're gonna see. And I'm guessing that Paul is from Reddit. Paul, if you're here, by the way, Paul, if you're still watching the show, you should come to twitch.tv/recordlabelboss and follow the channel. So that you actually get updates when I'm going live next time, and you can also, and so that you can chat in the chat and it can be seen on the stream, because I would really like to have you here giving feedback on stuff, you know. And Todd Lansing says he came from Reddit too. Yeah, a lot of people come from Reddit to here. Twitch doesn't really bring people to my channel. It's mostly people from everywhere. We're just mostly using Twitch as a technical platform because it works well for streaming. That is horrible. And that's what it really is, you know. Nobody ever... Twitch is not like, you should totally watch this channel, Record Label Boss, it's really great. Twitch is more like, look, here's this Minecraft channel, and here's this girl with her boobs out. So that's totally what you should watch, you know. Who wants to see me as a dude talking about stuff, you know? Dude talks about stuff.
So let's stay inside.
Todd Lansing says the only way to find small channels is to sort by viewers less first. Otherwise, it's the affiliates on front page. Arbitrator says back on the Reddit days when it was like, here's a guy actually doing real talk about the industry. That's not what RPAN is about. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I was pushed from channel to channel, being told that I don't fit in there. You know, you're not making music. You're not dancing, you're not performing, you're not doing arts, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you know? So now I'm in Reddit, what's this, distance socializing or something, you know? Which is okay, you know?
There's no one else on our side.
You're not doing free bird covers, yeah. Yeah, that is so interesting to me that all these content creation networks become monocultures for the same type of yellow pressified content. Everybody wants to see boobs and everybody wants to see certain types of performance, and then you'll have like places like Reddit with like 100 streamers that do the same thing, being the most popular, and then on Twitch the same 100 people doing the same thing, being the most popular, and that kind of like actively buries anybody who does something else. I don't know. Plus, of course, I can't be a girl, so there's that. I mean, it could be, but I don't want to be. I'm happy with who I am. Alright, we got 12 maybes today. Oh my god. It's gonna be a long stream. Why is my camera shaking? Ah, because I didn't fix it. Damn it! Can't do that right now. I could always RuPaul it, that's right. It's gonna be a drag race. Yeah. And now that I'm like doing all this, and then I'm doing panels on Clubhouse and everything, you know, sometimes I'm really thinking to myself, I never wanted to be that public of a persona, you know. Guess I am now. All right. First round is over. Let's listen to some music and then whew. Okay, that was the first round. That was the first round. That was interesting. A lot of great stuff today. A very interesting show. What can I say? It's been an interesting show, a deeply interesting show today. Got a great caller. Got some great talks about music industry, about crypto, about economy, about so many different things. And got 12 maybes. Wow. So we're gonna start on our maybes after we listen to music for a little bit, and I'm gonna drink something. I've been talking for 2.5 hours. By the way, everybody who has VIP in the channel is always welcome to come to my place and hang out at the studio, doing what you want to do, you know, barbecuing, swimming, drinking beer. Woo! And yep. But I do think that all the experience I had in the life before I became a, you know, record label boss are actually greatly helping me now. If I wouldn't have done this 25 years in energy, I don't think I could do this. I would be outsmarted. And now I'm like outsmarting these people because, I don't know, the music industry is not how can I say, not that competent. A lot of the people are like shady people, but they're not super smart. They're not necessarily the smartest people that you've seen in your life. There's certainly people that want to, you know, that would sell their grandmother for something. But they're not necessarily like, you know, the elite of... the intellectual elite of society. Let's just mildly word it like that. They're mostly the common cheater. Oi! Are you the common cheater? Yes, sir! I can sell you some snake oil! It's mostly like that, you know? The other day I had a wonderful talk with a guy that wanted to play our music on his TV station. On a Roku station, and he was like talking about the music and stuff, and I'm like, so you're looking to license our music so you can play it on your station? And they're like, no, we weren't talking about licensing, we just wanted to have it. And then I said to him, you know, you are talking about licensing, but you didn't want to pay for your license, is that correct? And then he was like, you know, so that was typical, you know. All right. Here's Ray from Panama with Your Papi. All right, you get to vote anywhere from 1 to 10 points for Ray. If you like it or if you don't like it. Something about the beat ain't right. Ooh, there's Bob many times. Thanks so much for following. I'm literally drowning in emoticons here. Thank you, Bob, many times. Oh, it's Paul! Oh my god, I'm so happy. Paul, stay! Stay on this channel, like... turn the, alarm or something on. So that you get alerted to, and then come back and give us your input. See, you're on the show now, Paul. They heard you, now they can see you. Lord, I haven't used this in like a year, so don't even know my name on here. And it doesn't matter. Everybody's got some name on Twitch, you know. Okay, well, all right, Ray, I don't think he's so bad. Okay, I'm gonna check out if Ray has more songs. I think... okay, what's that? Your Papi and then 5 a.m. Okay, let's listen to his second song. Yeah, so Paul, that was a great talk. And I'm always happy when people call in, because so many people don't dare to call in or, you know, give their opinion about something. But it's always interesting conversations, and it takes interactivity to another level. Ooh, this song, Yeah, and the whole thing with record label boss, you know? I have so many names now. You know? Okay, I don't like this so much. Okay, Okay, the second song of Ray I didn't like much, but I'm gonna listen to this song again and try to decide what I'm gonna do. 7 at best, yeah. Yeah. There's very few times where I don't agree with RB. You should totally do this instead of me, RB.
It's your poppy red, and I know I got my nasty ways. Yeah, it's your poppy red, and she know I got my nasty ways.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna send him something nice, but I'm gonna say no. Decent effort, a pretty cool song that is almost ready. I would keep on working. We would like to hear your future material. Come on. Material. All the best and cheers.
I don't want anybody else.
My real name is Avio, right? Avio. My artist name. I'll quit my job one day and be an RLB. Yeah, totally. You should totally work with us. We're looking for people to work with us on a percentage basis, by the way. In all kinds of stuff, you know. In various fields. Social media, A&R, artist management, booking. We have more artists that are interested in joining us than we can currently serve.
I don't want anybody else.
That binging is from Xenon Mega Blast. Hold on. Bum bum bum. I'll show you. I'll show you where that binging is from. Intro. And then you'll know, you know.
When Johnny said he needed
a freaking something, I came up with some kind of crap. All right. There it is. And then now you'll find out where the ding 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 is from. That's how I started making music. That's not me, but that's what I listen to. That's Amiga 500, you know, Xenon Mega Blast. From Bomb the Bass. Bomb the Bass. Okay, watch out. Here it is. You hear that? You hear that? Dum 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 da 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 dum dum dum. Now listen to this. You know, if you lift something from electronic music, even if it's 30 years old, I'll know it. All right, Afro Duck, let's see if you have other songs. Oh, you do? Good. Let's listen.
Cause I got fired and I was riding on me like a dog. I can't take it. Gotta make that money. Gotta make that.
Okay, interesting. Okay, that is so weird. He's got like electronic and then some guitar-based music.
But I'm still at the wonder what horrors were coming my way. Living my life in perpetual states.
Okay.
Take wonder, baby. Hey! I'm only trying to feel some peace again. This life's amazing. My journey's taking a bit of patience.
Okay. Afro Duck. Bob, many times nice catch. Yeah, thanks, man. Okay, Afro Duck. I think I'm gonna.
I don't want any. Anybody else.
Okay, I'm gonna say no for now, but I'm gonna give him some positive feedback. Cool song. We checked your material and liked some things. Send us more material in the future and stay connected. All the best and cheers. Because it's not immediately placeable, you know? It's not like I would put this on a track. But it has something. It's funky, kind of like grooves, you know? But I was kind of digging it. And you know, if you take something from Xenon, you know, from the Amiga 500... Because that shit came out in like 92 or 93, you know, you're already cool in my book. Because none of the kids who are listening to that music will know where you got that from. And this is Cryptic Cadet Echoes.
Echoes, things repeating. Beware the usual greeting. Look up, watch me gaining. One in a crowd. Forward.
Yeah, that is funny. Arbitrator says I'm not a lawyer. I just have a knack of figuring out people's mess.
Expectations, waiting, patient training.
That's also not so bad, but also not...
Ups and downs and sideways detections, back and forth, and the need for connection.
It's also not there, but it's also not bad.
You can't escape in any direction.
Okay, I'm gonna say no.
Heard you twice the
Cool song. We would like to hear more in the future. Sure. All the best and cheers.
What do I know? Power not required. I'm here if you're not wired. Spread wide, making contact.
Okay, East Haze. All right, 9 to go. It's gonna be a long show today. It's gonna be a long show. We're already passing the 3 hours. Okay, that is... Yeah.
Another step which is not in my hands. Another thought I do not understand. What do you want me to say? It's okay. It's okay. You're building towers without having a plan. Turning around and start over again. What do you want me to say? It's okay. It's okay. Right now, I can feel it every day.
Well, this guy's from Austria, so, you know, it would probably be interesting to work with him because he's close. Let's hear the other stuff. Heat Inside. Okay, that's guitar.
Left and lost, so here we are.
It's okay, yeah.
It's time to let it.
Okay, that is different. That's
Could have tried letting go, but don't you give it all? You will bring me down again. Because I don't know what it feels to live a life while I don't know.
Oh yeah, I want to talk to this guy. That's not bad, but it's all different. So the question is, what is he doing? You know, sounds like Foo Fighters. Hey, Ken! By the way, world famous Ken Tucker has just appeared in the Twitch chat. So yeah, I'm gonna talk to this guy because he's local and because stuff sounds good. But what is that? You know, 3 songs, 3 different styles. It's difficult to place an artist if they, you know, don't have a. You've been listening. Okay, good. Cooler Song und gutes Material. Melde dich mal unter. Oh, na, warte mal. ENA at countzerorecords.com bei uns und dann können wir uns unterhalten. Baba. Alles Gute und tschüss. Okay. So much for that. Talking in the people's language. I heard that guy's interview. The guy's here, Ken. It's Bob many times. If you have anything to chime in, Ken, feel free to say it, you know, he'll see it. Or I'll read it out. Hey, this is Winback from Germany. Jawohl, yeah, that's spelled differently with a W and a H. Yeah, it's okay. Nobody says that, you know, anymore. Like people did 50 years ago. Your German is rusty. I didn't know you had German. Okay, this is a young German producer. You can hear that. Let's listen to some other material of his.
Can I be your star tonight?
Yep.
I hope you still want
Yep, that's okay. Next one. Yep. Yeah, some bullshit remix. Okay, next one. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to the guy. Also because he sent me 3 submissions and I approved one already. 5 months ago, Winback versus Krasno. Okay. Hey Patrick, schick uns doch eine E-Mail an. I don't know what this guy is doing. CountZeroRecords.com und wir können uns mal unterhalten. Alles Gute und Baba. Cool song. Sometimes, you know, I approve something and then they never send me back an email. And then they send me something again and I approve it again. And I'm like, why are you not contacting us, you know? I don't get it. Ken Tucker says, I sent you a message with a link to an interface for your approval. What are you talking about? Yeah, that's the small one. That's the 404. Ken, that's totally okay. It's just, it has less channels. But it's literally the same thingy. Just instead of 16 channels, it has 4 in, 4 out. So, all right. 11 hours eclipse. If you can get that used or something, you know, that's okay. Because if you don't need more than 4 tracks, you know, how much are they selling it for? Because the UMC 404, how much is that? UMC 404, it's 118 new. Hello, Barcho. So it's 120 new, the 404. That's the new price, Ken. If that's a used one, then they should like make it a lot cheaper. Oh, I'm fine. Are you talking to me, Barto? I'm good. You know, I still don't have Corona. I'm still happy. My show is still growing. My fans are still awesome. You know, I think the worst thing that happened was that Dr. Scandy died on the 20th of December. That was a horrible blow for all of us at Count Zero Records. But other than that, I'm doing pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna say no, but I'm gonna say something nice. Cool song. Really not bad at all, but I would improve vocals and some production clarity. Want to hear more. All the best and cheers. Wasn't bad at all. Alright, Mayfire Chronicles, Soundscapes and Silhouettes. And Arbitrator, when he subscribed, he said, keep the decent efforts rolling. I'm just now seeing this. And Arby, you have got to have a lot of these thingies by now. You got the first, you got the VIP. You should have like all kinds of other badges as well. Why am I not seeing those? Founder 5 oh, because you got the founder that kind of like overrides that. Wow. My band is finally getting our demo in a month. That's good.
And I know that you're strong on your own. Carry on. Just be strong.
Hey, Restream, are you talking to yourself?
Know that I'm always right here by your side whenever you need me to be. So
Ken, are you talking to yourself?
be strong. Carry on.
Ken is such an expert. I love you.
Giving up on all that you see.
Yeah, that's right. Entertain yourself. Go ahead. Can someone explain what the bot is? Okay, so we have a bot that gathers chat from various channels and posts it so that people can see it on the screen. Because people are watching on various channels and the bot kind of like collects the chatting so that it can be on the show. And that's what he does. He takes stuff from like Facebook and YouTube and various Twitch channels and like puts it in here. He doesn't work in Reddit though. That's kind of like, I'm still trying to figure out how to connect Reddit into this. Currently I'm doing it different. But yeah. Mayfire Chronicles, Shadows, City of Ruins, Thicker Than Water. These people have a bunch of material, cloudscapes and silhouettes. Okay, let me just check out some stuff that they have. I'm not entirely sure what you mean. The vocals are a bit kind of like the...
Why we keep searching to find it wherever it hides.
They got a polished sound. Their vocals aren't up to it. Ken is still talking to himself. Cool song and material. Send us an email to... All these Nordic metal bands have one problem, and it's usually the vocals. I don't know why. You know? Just get a freaking guy that can sing. It's not so difficult. CountZeroRecords.com and we can have a chat. All the best and cheers. You know, if you... Vámonos, vámonos, vámonos.
Hacia ritmo conmigo. Cuando se toca la canción, me parte el corazón. It's gonna rock
It's very cold in the Northlands and their vocals are constricted. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. It's so cold, they're like... And this actually had a good drop as far as I can remember. So let's hear it.
Samba y banda. Come on. Banda y samba. Do Brasil.
Yeah, I like it. It's sufficiently stupid to be successful. Okay, there's a second song that he has, and then I'm going to invite him because that is commercially that's good. You know, it's good commercially. For the summer, this stuff always works. It's called Eddie Vedder syndrome. Yeah. Good. Okay, it's an Italian producing Latin music. What's not to like there? Very commercial, very not repetitive at all. Yeah. Sure, that's fine. It works for me. Cool song and material. Send us an email. You want to have also on your label some party hits. And they're not necessarily the most sophisticated pieces of music. It's where people are digging into their 20th sangria and are like, oh, samba, Send us an email to... All the best and cheers. Honestly, you can play anything with Latin rhythms because it's not good to me. Yeah, it needs to have a good rhythm. The girl needs to sing "Ay papi," and it's gonna be like boom, bum, 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 bum. It doesn't have to hit too many things in order to work with the target audience, and that's kind of like what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find people that make music that will connect with the audience that the music is actually made for. So the question I'm asking myself is not, do I like this? The question I'm asking myself is, will the audience that is the target audience for this song like the song? Oh, my cable got caught. Okay, we got some ethno singing coming up next. Ethno singing. Oh, Ken, you're so talented. It must please me. It's certainly very unique, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought. There are two teenage girls on Reddit who I think are phenomenal. Maybe you have seen them. Yeah, I don't look at teenage girls that much. But maybe I'll have. What are the names? But okay, I want to hear these Deer Moose people. I'm gonna invite these Deer Moose because they're so interesting and out there, Cool song. And I also like this. Yeah, send it my way, Bob. I mean, Paul. If they have any recorded music or anything, Sometimes I find it difficult because they don't have any recorded music. They're just playing covers, you know? And then it's difficult for me to decide if these are people that can actually make music, you know? Alright, this was the Romanian guy that made EDM. DJ New Wave Music. Huh. No details about the artist whatsoever. Nothing entered here. Just New Wave, stay right there. DJ New Wave Music. No other material. Paboo. Okay, cool track. We need to hear more from you to tell if you would be a good fit. If he had like 2 or 3 other songs that were like right down this alley, I would probably have said yes. But just one. One is the Ukulele Girl. She has a strong country voice and the username is Angry Puppies. Okay. What am I gonna do with a Ukulele Girl? I'm like, I'm thinking, you know, she could make a ukulele album. I don't know. Angry Puppies, the Ukulele Girl. Wow. Okay. Okay, he's got a lot of songs. That's good. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay too. That's okay too. That's okay too. Bit weird, but okay. Okay. Sign her and produce her with a band, yeah. See, there's the problem. I have a lot more artists than I have producers. That is my huge problem at the moment. And when you have producers, you'll have a lot of like beat makers and hip hop and stuff. And there's not so many producers that actually have a spectrum of music that they can do, like professional, that they can do anything from pop to R&B to that people that I would call producer. Most of the people are just like, I don't know, music creators in a very narrow genre. A good producer can produce any band, you know, but we're lacking producers. So if any of you know any good producers that want to work with a label, we're totally happy to interview them. Okay, one more to go. Cool song and material. Man, that was a mega stream today. Send us an email to in our account zerorecords.com and we can have a chat. All the best and cheers. Okay. And this is the last one for today. Yay, 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 yay. I can barely produce my... Yeah, I know. It's difficult, you know? You need to be able to work with the whole technology thing. You need to know a lot about music. You need to work with the people that are coming in. It's a very central thing to be a producer. And most people who come to me and say I'm a producer are actually not producers. They're just like, they think they are. And then the ones that are good always want to be on like majors, and they want to, I want to produce this hit-making artist. A lot of producers are chasing artists and try to actively do something for them just to be somehow on that album, so that they then can claim that name and say, I worked on the album of such and such person, even if they're just the dude who was like starting the computer, you know. I successfully started the computer on the album of a Grammy-winning artist. But of course they're not going to tell you they started the computer. They're just going to be, I was on there, you know. I know, Ken, I wasn't talking to you. Nobody would mistake you for a producer. Ken is a wonderful songwriter. And very good player. Bit lacking in the vocals. Let's hear the other song. Genial Butto. Mr. Butto.
Ese movimiento de tu cuerpo me atrapa, me marca.
Skip.
Vamos a dejar. Es que contigo la paso genial, genial. Aunque no puedo entender por qué. Que es ahora la
I know.
vida. Se haga lluvia, haga sol. Contigo me siento bien.
Okay, that wasn't that great. Okay, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no, and that was the show. Oh my god! Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on Record Label Boss today on February the 8th of February the 8th of February. Monday the 8th of February. Wow. So that was 50 submissions, and we actually invited some people. Let's see what's going to happen. We had a very awesome stream. We met our new friend Paul, who called in. We talked about cryptocurrency, the economy, and many, many other things. We had a stream that is 3 hours and 30, probably one of the longer streams, even possibly making it the longest stream we've ever had. It was a very interesting show today. Very, for me, it was very enjoyable. Very long, but very enjoyable. That was like really great. If you want to stay up to date with us, please go to twitch.tv/recordlabelboss and follow us there. You'll get an alarm every time we do the show. We do this show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, always at 8 o'clock p.m. Central European Time. If you don't know what that time is, go to twitch.tv/recordlabelboss and check out the schedule. It will show up there on your time schedule. So you can be on our show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you want to know more about me and our label, go to recordlabelboss.com and check it out there. As always, if you like the artists that we pick up here, if you wonder where the artists go after we pick them up, go to CountZeroRecords.com. That's where our artists are. You can buy their music, check out what they do. There's some merchandise and everything else that goes on with the label. Thank you so very much for being on the show today. I was really happy to welcome Paul as a new viewer. I was very happy that Arby extended his subscription and continues to support this channel. Thank you so much, dude. Much appreciated. And we're going to do the next one on Wednesday. It's going to be Weird Wednesday, because on Wednesday we always have the weirdest submissions. That's going to be that on Wednesday. And I thank you so much for being on the show, and I'll see you on Wednesday. If you have any questions or something, stay connected with me. You can contact me through Twitch or through Reddit. Or if you have my phone number, you can WhatsApp me. And if you don't, you're out of luck. Check out our Facebook page as well. It's got over 75,000 followers now. And we're posting a lot of stuff there regularly. Stay connected. Thank you so much for being on the show. And I'll see you on Wednesday. On Wednesday.